The first half of 2024 was a pretty good start to the year for historical movies, with some excellent historical films like Cabrini and The Promised Land getting the year off to a great start. But the second half of 2024 is jam-packed with even better upcoming historical films. And in this video I will give you my top 10 recommendations of the best upcoming historical movies that you need to watch, which are getting released between July and December of this year. But before we begin, don't forget, if you love anything to do with historical movies and historical TV shows, subscribe to my channel History Sport. And don't forget to also check out my brand new channel Historical Exit, where we do a deep dive into the deaths of some of history's greatest figures. At number 10 is Nosferatu, a supernatural historical drama which is heavily inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, and the primary plot focuses on a vampire named Nosferatu who becomes infatuated with a young woman named Ellen Hutter, and the horrors that unfold as he tries to capture her. Nosferatu has a highly talented cast involved in this project, with Bill Skarsgård playing the role of Nosferatu, Willem Dafoe portraying Professor Von Franz, and Lily Rose Depp, the daughter of Johnny Depp, starring as the female lead Ellen Hutter. Nosferatu is set for a worldwide release on December 25 this year, because I guess nothing says Christmas like a vampire. So be sure to check out Nosferatu in a cinema near you later on this year. At number 9 is The Arctic Convoy, a World War II film set in the backdrop of Hitler's invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941. And this movie will follow a convoy of cargo ships which are transporting war goods to Russia, and they have to pass through the perilous Arctic Circle to get to the city of Murmansk with some much needed war supplies for the Russian forces. However, the Germans will do all that they can to ensure that the convoys do not reach their destination. So if you would like a movie that shows the difficulties of traversing through the Arctic Circle in World War II, then be sure to check out The Arctic Convoy on July 26th of this year. At number 8, it is Reagan, an upcoming biographical film depicting the life of US President Ronald Reagan, from his childhood to his tenure as President of the United States, and the many events such as the Grenada War, the Cold War, and the AIDS epidemic that occurred during his presidency. Ronald Reagan will be portrayed by Dennis Quaid, and his wife, Nancy Reagan, will be played by Penelope Ann Miller, so definitely some veteran cast members involved in this project. Reagan has been in production since 2020, and it was expected to be released in 2021, but after multiple delays, it will finally be hitting cinemas August 30, 2024, so be sure to check it out. At number 7, it is Bonhoeffer, an upcoming historical drama which tells the extraordinary story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, a German pastor and theologian who was a vocal critic of the Nazis and was even accused of being involved in the 20th July plot to assassinate Hitler. Dietrich Bonhoeffer lived a very fascinating and truly inspiring life, and he was a symbol of hope to many Jews in Germany, and I'm really glad to see that Angel Studios is bringing his story to life. Bonhoeffer is scheduled to be released on November 2024, and the cast includes Jonas Dassler, Flula Borg, and David Johnson. These are all actors I am unfamiliar with, but I have faith in Angel Studios being able to produce high quality films and TV shows. So I'm really looking forward to watching this film later on this year. And if you're looking for a great historical film about human compassion and kindness amidst the horrors of World War II, then Bonhoeffer is my recommendation for you. At number 6, it is Lee, another upcoming biographical film, this time telling the story of war journalist Lee Miller and her journey from being a model to a photographer and journalist on the front lines of World War II. Early reviews for Lee have been fairly positive, with the acting of Kate Winslet as Lee Miller being praised, but the plot and overall storyline being considered as a bit vanilla and unoriginal. But Lee will definitely be giving us a new perspective of World War II from a more journalistic and non-combatant perspective that most viewers may not have seen before. So I'm really looking forward to watching Lee when it gets released to cinemas in the UK on September 13, 2024, and in the US and other markets on September 24, 2024. At number 5, it is Blitz, an upcoming World War II film which explores the life of a group of people living in London during the early years of World War II, and how the bombings that occurred in London and other surrounding cities by Axis forces disrupted the lives of these British citizens. This movie will go in depth into highlighting the life of normal citizens during World War II and how they all work together to make sense of all the chaos in the world and find a new sense of normal in their life. This movie is directed and written by Steve McQueen, and it will star Saoirse Ronan and Harris Dickinson in the primary roles for this film. Blitz is going to be releasing exclusively to Apple TV on November 22nd, and it will be having a limited theatrical release starting from November 1st. So I definitely can't wait to watch Blitz when it gets released to Apple TV later on this year, as it definitely will provide a new perspective of World War II that I haven't witnessed before. At number 4, it is Widow Clicquot, a historical drama which will take viewers back to the 18th century and tell us the impressive story behind the Veuve Clicquot Champagne Company, one of the largest champagne houses in the world, and this business is still operating 250 years after it was founded. Widow Clicquot will tell the story of how Madame Clicquot took over her husband's wine business at the age of 27 and grew it to the premier champagne of Europe, especially during the Napoleonic Wars. Madame Clicquot will be portrayed by Haley Bennett, and Tom Sturridge will portray Francois Clicquot. This film was originally screened at the Toronto Film Festival last year and has been very well received by critics so far, holding a 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and the plot and the storyline has been praised for being unique and non-linear. So I'm really looking forward to this unique historical drama when it gets released to cinemas all across the world on July 19, 2024. At number 3, it is Murder Company, a World War II film which takes place in the backdrop of the D-Day invasion, and the plot for this movie is very unique and very interesting. The story will focus on a group of US soldiers who must smuggle a French resistance fighter past enemy lines and defenses so he can assassinate a high-ranking Nazi official. This movie will star Kelsey Grammer as General Haskell and Giles Marini as French resistance fighter the Queen. This film is set to have a worldwide theatrical release on July 5th, 2024 and will be produced by Maverick Film. So if you enjoy World War II movies, then Murder Company may be a great recommendation that you may not be aware of, and it is getting released in just a couple of days' time. The second spot on this list goes to The Convert, a historical film set in New Zealand during the 1830s, in which a fictional British preacher named Thomas Munro finds himself caught in the middle of a brutal and bloody war between several different Maori tribes. Early reviews for this film have been very positive, as The Convert has already been released to some parts of the world like New Zealand and Australia, and critics and audiences alike have been praising the acting, cinematography, the depiction of Maori culture and the fight scenes as that befitting any historical epic. The Convert though seems to struggle with pacing, and a second act which just seems to drag on for too long. But if you want to find out more about Maori culture and how the British caused many civil wars between the tribes, then The Convert will be my recommendation for you, and this film will be getting released to cinemas in the UK and US on July 12th, 2024. And the top spot on this list could of course only go to Gladiator 2, the long-awaited sequel to the Gladiator film starring Russell Crowe. There have been a lot of updates on Gladiator 2 over the past couple of weeks, so I will be making a separate dedicated video to everything we know so far about Gladiator 2. But a quick synopsis of this film is that it will take place many decades after the events of Gladiator 1, and Lucius, the son of Lucilla depicted in Gladiator, is now a grown man living with his own family in Numidia. But eventually he gets captured and put into slavery and finds himself fighting as a gladiator for the emperors Cursella and Geta. This movie will star some of the best actors in Hollywood, including Denzel Washington, Pedro Pascal, Derek Jacobi, Connie Nielsen and Paul Mescal. So definitely one of the most talented casts of any historical epic in cinema history. Ridley Scott is also returning as the producer for this movie, and after the dud that was Napoleon, I am sure he is keen to remove the last few flops of his career and show why he is still one of the best directors in Hollywood. So Gladiator 2 is a film which has been getting some excellent early reviews, and I can't wait to watch it when it gets released to cinemas worldwide on November 15th or 22nd depending on where you live. So let me know in the comments down below which film you're most excited to watch coming out later on this year, and if there are any movies that I might have missed out on. And remember to stay up to date with everything to do with historical movies and historical TV shows. Subscribe to my channel History Spark, and don't forget to check out my new channel Historical Exit as well. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.